One thing about being in the military that people always seem to roll past is the great relationships that you build. So join us tonight while we chow down on our Memorial Day food, have our mukbang, and just talk about what it's really like building relationships in the military. Welcome to Married in a Man Cave, where we are a dual military couple raising mad kids and a dog named Joey as we climb this road to entrepreneurship while serving our country and talking about blended and splendid, aspirations and things like that. And I guess I'm supposed to learn like man cave stuff and all this other foolishness. Meet Chef Smitty. Dun, dun, dun. Welcome to our Memorial Day mukbang. We are having an awesome feast by yours truly, Mr. That Boy Can Cook 305. And so today, as we know, it's all about remembering our fallen comrades and people who gave the ultimate sacrifice that could no longer be here.
With that being said, hey guys, Memorial Day is not all about barbecues and hanging out and drinking and having a day off from work. Memorial Day is about remembering the fallen heroes of yesterday. Some of our battle buddies, some of the America's heroes. Just make sure that you send a prayer out, and you if you have a friend or a family friend, make sure you call those wives, those mothers, those brothers, those sisters.
That's a good point.
To say, hey, happy Memorial Day, thinking about you. Just give them a shout out.
As you know, we have been in the military 17 and a half years.
19.
You've been in the military 18 and a half years.
In January, it'll be 19.
So it's
I'm fast
not even June.
I'm fast forward.
You can't fast forward time.
Okay.
Forgive Mr. Smitty. He's been in 18 and a half years, and for some odd reason, he keeps forgetting, you can't just round up time.
Because the end is near.
Anyways, as our topic discussed, the relationships that you get in the military. So I'm going to give you my 3, and he's going to give you his 3 on how you build good quality relationships in the military. Meanwhile, it's time to eat. You see how deep that was?
I don't know what she was doing there. It's like Twilight Zone.
So, as I smack down on these collard greens, does this have pork in it? Because, I'm on like a no pork diet.
It has turkey in it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So, when we talk about relationships, you didn't have to drip the whole. You being real extra. Anyways, when we talk about relationships in the military, I like to focus in on quality relationships. Here's what I mean by that. In the military, you're going to cross paths with people from all walks of life. Some people are going to come from the country. Some people are going to come from foreign countries. Some people are going to be people who have never served alongside people that they in their wildest dreams never thought they would be next to. Like for me, the first person I served with, and I will always remember, is a Georgia girl that I served with in the military and I met in basic training. From that point on, everybody I met from Georgia, I was like, oh, I know about Georgia girls. And so I say that because one big part about building relationships in the military that are different from the civilian world is you have no choice but to serve together. PT, going to the field, going on deployments, going on JROTC or NTC rotations, meaning you are always going to be stuck in these pods of living or bonding or having some camaraderie with someone. Sometimes it's just that motivation of those battle buddies that gets you through the day. And so my number one thing when it comes to building relationships in the military is make them authentic. The problem that you will find in the military is some people don't value the moments in time. People think you just come in, you serve, you do your time, you get out, but some relationships are lasting. I have met some awesome people. So my number one tip is build authentic relationships in the military. Number one for you would be what?
A lot of you civilians really don't know. You think we all know each other and all of that. We don't. We all don't know each other.
Like, you know, such and such. Who?
No. We get stationed in different places of the country, different places of the world, actually. You know, Korea, Europe. We station all over the place and get deployed. With that being said, you have to understand.
Naked.
Okay. There you go. And that's why Memorial Day is so historic and so highlighted, because a lot of us Americans, we need to make sure that we give those thanks to those families and to those soldiers who fought and who signed up to say, you know, I'll join the military, because at any day we can get deployed. It doesn't matter what job you have. It doesn't matter. You can be a mechanic, you can be food service, you can be infantry, you can be a scout. It doesn't matter. When the balloon goes up, which means, hey, it's time to deploy, you gotta get on that. You gotta get on that plane and go.
But just talk about, like, what about the people who we lost that weren't serving? Like, they weren't killed in action. They were killed.
And then
like, I lost a battle buddy to cancer.
Well, I have several battle buddies that lost their lives after action, and those actions are PTSD or just depression,
suicide. It's
so
real.
I've lost plenty of buddies to that. So
it would be your number one.
Just making sure that we acknowledge the soldiers, and acknowledge the family that you build. You build family in the military. Yeah. They don't have to be your blood. You just build family. That's my number one.
I would say my number two, it would really have to be realizing that there is life after the military. And I say that when it comes to building relationships, because I think a lot of people get stuck in just the military mindset. Like, oh, that's just going to be my homegirl at Fort Carson or Korea or Germany. But to be honest, there's life after the military. And I say that whether you serve 3 years or 30 years, some of these people are going to be your friends for life. And so it is so important to take value in knowing that some of these people you're going to carry with them into your next chapter of life. So making those true bonds is so important. Because I'll tell you this, whether I decide to retire in 3 years or 13 years, there are some people along the way that I've met, and it had nothing to do with the military, that they were bonded to me, other than that's how we met, was through the military. I found people that I would trust with my children. I found people that I would trust if I had to, you know, be hospitalized and needed someone to come take care of me if my husband wasn't here. I've built bonds with people, whether they were someone's spouses or people who are actually serving with me, that are lifetime relationships. Because the thing about the military is people are going to retire and you're going to still be serving, or you're going to retire and some of your peers are going to be still serving, or you're going to meet spouses and things of that nature that you're going to build these bonds with. And so I always tell people it's life after the military. So don't sit around and just force relationships. If people are not genuinely invested in you, your family, your aspirations, your goals, whether it's civilian or military, disregard those friendships. Make relationships with people that you feel are authentic, and when you move out into the military, that you can truly call those people, be like, hey girl, remember back in the day when we used to, because I know back in the day, you know what I'm saying. This collard greens is real good. And baked beans too, and the ribs. What's number two?
So I'm gonna roll right past all of that foolishness. Uncle or father or whoever's in the military that you know, make sure you keep in touch. Because what happens is a family member joins the military, and then all of a sudden you stop calling, or you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Just make sure you just continue to call, because most you think, oh, they're training. No, most of the time they have their phone on them. Just call them.
We've lost too many people to suicide.
Yeah, just call them and continue to keep in touch because they love that kind of stuff. And because I know I loved it when whoever called me, my brother, my sister, or whoever called me, I was like, hey, well, you keep in touch and say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Just that conversation. Don't call them with agenda. All right.
I know you get paid on the first.
Yeah. Don't call them with, hey, let me hold something. I know you. Hey, can I get $500 to pay for my rent? No, that's gonna make the military member be like, you know what? I'm just gonna not answer that phone call, right?
And they will replace you with people in the military.
Exactly. So just call them. You know, now we understand sometimes you fall on hard times. We get it. But every time you call with an agenda, then we gonna be like, nah, bro, I'm not answering.
Or like when you come home, you go home to your hometown, and people be like, oh, you ain't stopping, come see me.
You can come see me.
You can come see me. Because if you're not traveling to my duty station to come see me, if I come in town and you know I'm in town, hey, ain't nothing wrong with you coming to see me because as a soldier, I don't want to sit up here and be convoying all through the city. I want to come home, rest my bones. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to chill. So when it comes to, like you said, checking on your soldier and doing things for your soldier, a lot of times soldiers don't come home and distance themselves from their family because sometimes we leave home for certain reasons, but also because sometimes you don't want to come home and feel like you standing up the hood or you got to give back. And no. Every day we put on this uniform, whether it's going down range, whether it's going into our job every day, or whether it's just showing up. We are literally tied to a contract that a lot of people are not either able to handle, don't want to do the job, or choose not to do the job. So I say that to say, like, make sure that you don't, like my husband said, like, treat your soldier, like, with some respect. Check on your soldier. We have lost so many young soldiers, young and older soldiers, to suicide, and it could have been prevented if someone had checked on them.
A family member especially.
Right? Family or friends. You know, I'm a big advocate of you don't owe toxic people forgiveness. Right?
Yep.
And so some people, like me, if I don't think that, you know, you're not going to be there and you're not a quality person, whether it's friends, family, or whatever, I don't care what you say. I'm just not going to deal with you, right? So check on your soldiers. Bottom line. Watch how I pour this real slow.
Excuse me? What are you doing with this drink? Like, it's turning into Kool-Aid. Just saying.
Number 3, ways that you can build relationships in the military or kind of just understand how the military lifestyle works. I would truly say is marriage. This one gonna punch some people in the gut, but I just have to be real, right? There's like this thought process that if you marry a military man or a military female, all they do is cheat. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna be the one to lie to you. It's a lot of people that be cheating in the military. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you, oh no, nobody cheats in the military. I'm just gonna tell you now, where we're at in our military career, in our relationship, and the foundation that we built, we don't play them games. You see what I'm saying? So for me, when people say those things, those are people who want to make excuses. People make time for what they want. It is true. So when people try to define their marriage off of the military, that to me is a red flag that no, you don't have your priorities in order. And so a part about building relationships in the military is knowing what you want in your relationship, whether it's married, dating, fiance, long distance relationships and stuff. I've seen relationships survive and I've seen some thrive and I've seen some crash and burn. But at the end of the day, we got to get out of the habit of thinking that the military defines the marriage. No, those people, those humans in that marriage define their marriage. My family will not be defined by the military. My relationship will not be defined by the military. Me getting my education, my degree, my certifications, him going to do his aspirations and things of that nature will not be defined by the military. So when I talk about building relationships and how this lifestyle is in the military, understand people make time for what they want, and that includes the relationships that they want to have and hold, whether it's marriage, friendship, partnerships, co-workers, and all those things. Don't force relationships that you don't want to be in. And that is my number 3. Talking about my husband was gone, so I had to cheat. Girl, no, you wanted to cheat. That's another topic, though.
And let me go on to loyalty in the military.
That's an earning value.
So, like you just talked about, right? That's a thing in the military. A lot of people cheat or whatever, right? But with me, it's just all about loyalty, right? And I heard the saying, I seen this saying on the social media the other day about true friends stick up for you when nobody's around, right? True friends, it doesn't matter if who's in the setting. If somebody say something about you to your friend, the friend should be like, "Hey, bro, what you talking about?" Right? I don't do all of that. Hey, miss me with that. That's my dog. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that's loyalty. That's loyalty, right? So we can't, and especially a military personnel, when we have friends who are considered family, we need to make sure that at the end of the day, that person is loyal to you, because we keep our circle tight, and we keep it small,
I'll be walking around my house
because we need to make sure that that's just period. A lot of people like to make friends in the military. They as soon as they come in, they want to make 1,000 friends. What happens?
I'll be everybody buddy.
What happens
No,
with that? What happens with that is, now that you're subjecting yourself to a lot of people and their personalities. And if something goes down, because in the military we have a lot of rules. So if something goes down, they're gonna throw you under the bus really quick, because they're gonna be like, well, I know that person. They don't know you like that, because you trying to make that. You said that person was your friend. They don't think like that. That's not
trying to be loyal to too many people.
So at the end of the day, just make sure that you're making the right friends and have loyal friends, that would have your back regardless of whatever the hell is going down, right? Now if they trying to rob a bank, you'd be like, all right, I ain't trying to do none of that.
Soldiers don't do stuff like that. Soldiers don't do stuff like that. You used to work at Leavenworth.
Yeah, I was at Leavenworth. Soldiers do stuff like that. They rob banks.
As we close the video, what is Leavenworth?
You know, Leavenworth. I was at Leavenworth, which is a prison in Kansas, which all military goes to. I was there for 3.5 years, right? And so this place is just like, I don't know if you ever seen Oz. Go look it up on HBO.
The military version.
That's the military version of Oz, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. And there's a movie out called The Castle. I don't know if you ever seen that. That's basically the same place, but now they took the prisoners out of that place and moved them to 2 different places. It's called the USDB and the JRCF, right? So that's old. The castle is nothing. That's just a museum. That's a museum now. But that place, man, is you and people say, oh, I catch PTSD from being downrange and bullets are flying over. No, you catch PTSD from a lot of stuff. Especially being in that place, because most of those that MOS that works in there, the correction officers, a lot of them have PTSD, and a lot of them ain't put their big toe in the sand.
And if some of those are your battle buddies, check on them. So
they ain't put their big toe in the sand, but they got PTSD from being in these prisons, because there's riots, there's fights, there's just it's just everyday monotony of dealing with prisoners. So when you're dealing with prisoners, it's a different deal. And yeah, that place is not nice.
We're gonna have to do a show on that.
We can, but yeah, be loyal to your homeboys and your homegirls, because they need you. All right, so don't be out here, being two-faced and you talking about how they back and all that. No,
my favorite one is people like to praise you and play you all in the same day. So be very, very cautious of the relationships, marriage, co-workers, and all those in-between relationships that you encounter in the military or with a military person. And as always, this is Married and Man Cave.
Hold on.
We're just
we didn't talk about man cave stuff.
That's another episode.
Okay.
What?
Nah, we can. If you want to just cut it off, that's fine. But I'm rocking the Miami Heat. I know we lost. We got swept. You know what I'm saying? We got swept by the Bucks. But guess what? It's always Miami 305 all day long. And we're gonna be back next year with Jimmy Butler and Bam. We're gonna make some off-season moves. You know what I'm talking about? But hey, you see that? 305. That boy can cook. Come get you something to eat. That's how we do in Dade County. Peace.
That's not how we end the show.
Excuse me?
And as always, peace.